Welcome to The Explainer. Let's be real. In a world where everything seems to be changing all at once, the old rules for leadership just aren't working anymore. A whole new playbook is being written for a new kind of company. And today, we're going to break down exactly what that looks like.
So, we have to start with this big question. With huge shifts happening everywhere, from the climate crisis to AI completely changing the game, how are leaders supposed to navigate all this? The old maps, well, they just weren't drawn for this kind of territory.
We're right at a tipping point for leadership. That traditional model, the one that was built for the slow, predictable industrial world, it's not just outdated, it's actually becoming a roadblock. It simply doesn't cut it for the complex world we live in now.
And when you put the two playbooks side by side, wow, the difference is night and day. The old way was all about preservation, right? Keep things stable, focus on the shareholders, and keep everyone in a neat top-down hierarchy. The new playbook, it flips all of that. It's about seeing possibility, focusing on everyone involved, your customers, your employees, the community, and working in a much more flexible, networked way.
And look, this isn't just some nice theory. This is happening right now. You've got pioneers like Microsoft, Hire, and Alliance who are already riding this wave. They're totally transforming their industries because they're focused on creating growth that's sustainable and includes everyone. They're literally rewriting the rules as we speak.
So how do you actually do this? How does a leader make this kind of change? Well, it really boils down to 5 huge shifts in how you think and what you do. This is the core framework, the real meat of what it means to lead today.
Now, what's really important to get here is that this isn't about throwing out everything you've ever learned. It's about building on it. The whole idea is to move beyond the traditional stuff, like just focusing on profit and control, and extending yourself and your ambitions to things like creating real impact and true collaboration. So let's dive into each one.
Okay, first up, moving beyond just profit. The old job description was pretty simple. You were a manager, and your job was to deliver profits, period. The new role? It's about being a visionary. It's about generating a positive impact for everybody, your customers, your team, society, and yep, your investors too.
Just listen to this quote from Reed Hastings at Netflix, way before it was the giant we know today. That's not a vision about next quarter's earnings. That's a vision about creating incredible value for a whole ecosystem of people. And that big, bold, impact-first thinking is exactly what powered their insane growth.
And you can see how that visionary mindset leads right into the second shift. Instead of just fighting with competitors over the same old pie, the new leaders are architects. They design and build completely new ways of creating value, often with partners. They shift from a mindset of scarcity to one of true abundance.
Now, this third shift, this can be a really tough one. It's about moving beyond command and control. You're no longer the director at the top of the pyramid, just giving orders. Instead, you become a catalyst. Your job is to create trust and empower networks of teams so they can work together and make amazing things happen.
Want a great real-world example? Take the firm Aon. They used to be a collection of what they called fiefdoms, all siloed and separate. They launched this Aon United initiative and completely transformed into a single, collaborative network. They even made it a rule that leaders have to spend 1 day a week helping colleagues in totally different parts of the business. It changed their culture from I, me, my to we, us, ours, and became a huge competitive advantage.
The fourth shift is all about letting go of that need to control everything and predict the future perfectly. You stop being a controller who's obsessed with being certain about everything. Instead, you become a coach, and your main job is to encourage discovery, fast experiments, and, this is key, learning from what doesn't work.
So the coach is all about helping the organization learn and evolve, constantly. Think about Intuit. At any given moment, they're running over 1,800 experiments. 1,800! They can do that because they've empowered their people to work in these short, fast cycles of deciding, doing, and learning. It drives relentless innovation.
And that brings us to our fifth and final shift. And this one's deeply personal. It's about going beyond just playing the part of a professional who fits in and meets expectations. It's about showing up as your whole, authentic human self and creating a space where everyone else feels safe to do the same.
So I want you to ask yourself this, honestly. In your team, in your company,
Do you create enough psychological safety for people to be real, for them to talk about their hopes and their fears? Because acknowledging that we're all human is what unlocks the deep passion and creativity that you just can't get any other way.
Okay, so we've got the 5 shifts, but what happens when a company actually puts them all together? Let's look at a case study that shows how these ideas combine to create something pretty incredible.
Let's talk about a bank. Yeah, a bank. DBS, the Development Bank of Singapore. They set this incredibly audacious goal for themselves and then completely reinvented the entire organization by embracing this new leadership playbook.
And you can see right here how they hit every single shift we've talked about. It all started with that new impact-focused vision, not just to be a bank, but to be a tech company that makes banking joyful. That demanded a culture of wholeness, where people could be authentic. That culture then fueled collaboration, turning the company into a network of empowered teams. Those teams drove evolution, using sprints and something they called balcony time to step back and learn fast. And all of that together enabled co-creation on a massive scale, building a platform with over 1,000 APIs and hundreds of partners.
And the results you get from this kind of leadership, they're not just small improvements. They are absolutely explosive. And DBS isn't alone. Let's not forget about Netflix's bold vision. As they made it a reality, their earnings shot up 32 times in just 6 years. Mind-blowing. And it's not a fluke. We saw the same thing with ASON. After they ditched the silos and embraced their collaborative ASON United culture, look at this. Their market cap jumped from $6 billion to $50 billion. This just proves that this new leadership playbook isn't just a feel-good idea. It's incredibly good for business.
So you might be thinking, okay, this sounds amazing, but where do I even begin? Well, here's the crucial part. This kind of transformation can't be ordered from the top down. It has to be a personal journey of discovery that you, as a leader, choose to start.
Real transformation starts when leaders decide to change themselves first. It's got to be voluntary. It's a process of discovery, not following a checklist. And it usually starts with the top leadership team, getting coaching, and then building that new way of working outwards, creating a community of people who are all practicing this together.
Now, I know a change this big can feel totally overwhelming, maybe even impossible. But it's so important to remember this idea. History is absolutely full of things that seemed impossible until suddenly they weren't. When a few pioneers break through those barriers, they make the unimaginable the new reality for everyone else.
In the end, the future of your organization isn't just something that's going to happen to you. It's something you, as a leader, are going to create. Your success and your company's success really depends on your own personal evolution. So the only question left is, where are you going to begin?